Did you think that running in zone 2 would effortlessly improve your performance? Well, me too. And that's because it seems like everyone was calling it the Holy Grail. Train slow, race fast, or run slow to run fast. I thought it would feel like cruising through easy runs while magically getting fitter each week. But after running about 5,000 kilometers in zone 2, as I neared my late 40s, I realized the truth is more complex and way more interesting. So, to help make your journey smoother, here are 13 secrets I wish I had known from the beginning. The biggest secret about zone 2 training, which almost no one talks about, is how it evolves as your fitness grows. In the beginning, I struggled to keep my heart rate down. Zone 2 felt almost too easy, like I wasn't doing anything. I had to slow down so much it was honestly a bit embarrassing. But what I didn't realize is that zone 2 only feels easy when you're unfit. As I got fitter, it was no longer a struggle to stay under the ceiling because it actually took more effort to even reach zone 2. While it doesn't feel hard in a breathing sense, it becomes much more demanding in terms of workload. Your heart becomes more efficient, so it doesn't need to beat as fast to do its job. So now your muscles have to work harder to stimulate the same system. Even if your breathing is calm, your legs might still feel sore or fatigued afterwards. So yes, zone 2 gets harder the fitter you become. And before we move on, if you're over 50 and trying to train smarter, stay injury-free and improve your endurance, I put together a free masterclass just for you. It walks through the exact framework I used to make all of this work in my 40s and that we now use with thousands of runners in their 50s, 60s and beyond. You can grab your spot using the link in the description or the QR code right here. All right, on to the next one. I used to think pushing hard a few times a week was the key to getting fitter, but running 5,000 kilometers in zone 2 taught me something different. It was the slow, steady miles repeatedly, day after day, that built what no single workout ever could. A solid habit and a lasting foundation. At first I needed willpower, but once it became a routine, it stopped being a decision. I didn't have to think about it, I just went. And on the days I didn't, something felt off. It became an anchor for me, not because it was intense, but because it was sustainable. Zone 2 doesn't make for impressive social media posts. It's not sexy, but it's the foundation that supports everything else. It builds your aerobic engine, the thing that fuels every other effort. Without the base, high-intensity work doesn't have anything to rest on. Think of your training like a pyramid. Zone 2 is the wide, stable base. Speed work is the sharp, narrow top. If your base is too small and you try to stack too much on top, the whole thing collapses. Zone 2 gave me stability to run further, more efficiently, with less strain on my body, even before I added any speed work. One of the biggest misunderstandings is that people think Zone 2 delivers quick results. When progress doesn't show up fast, people give up. But Zone 2 isn't a hack, it's a long game, especially after 40. I didn't see any progress at all in the first 6 months. I wondered if something was wrong. Then around 7 or 8 months in, it all changed. The same pace came at a lower heart rate. And over time, that pace dropped. 5:30 to 5:15 to 5 minutes, and then even 4:45 per kilometer. It varies with sleep, stress, caffeine, and weather, but the long-term trend is undeniable. When you run slow, you notice more. There's no adrenaline masking bad form or inefficiencies. I could feel when my posture slipped or when a slight tightness was starting to build. And that awareness helped me to catch small problems before they became injuries. Zone 2 runs became mindful. They gave me space to adjust, to breathe, to listen. There's this myth that Zone 2 is full of junk miles, but after 5,000 kilometers, I can tell you it's the opposite. Yes, each individual run might feel uneventful, but stacked together over weeks and months, they build stride efficiency, joint resilience, and metabolic depth. The quality isn't in each run, it's in the accumulation. And progress isn't always linear. Some weeks I felt flat, but then suddenly I'd see a jump. Zone 2 rewards patience and precision. Here's the truth. Zone 2 alone won't make you fast. If you want to run faster over 10 Ks or a marathon, you need tempo runs, mile repeats, and intervals. What Zone 2 gives you is the ability to handle those sessions, to recover faster, to absorb the intensity. When I trained in Zone 2, my pace improved slowly. But when I layered in some quality workouts, my progress exploded in 6 weeks. It's not an either or, it's both, in balance. This kind of fitness doesn't just disappear. Yes, it takes time to build, but it's also remarkably sticky. There were times when life got in the way. Travel, illness, small injuries, I had to take breaks. I assumed my fitness would be gone. But when I came back, my heart rate was still steady. My endurance didn't vanish. Zone 2 builds a base that stays with you. You can use our free threshold calculator to pinpoint your ideal training paces and start making every workout count towards your new personal best. Now, one of the best side effects of Zone 2 training, it doesn't crush your body because it's low stress, low impact, and aerobic. You can do it almost every day and still feel fresh. I never felt fried, even when tired or mentally drained. I could still show up. That kind of repeatability matters. Over time, Zone 2 training trained my body to rely more on fat as fuel. My metabolic flexibility improved. My energy was steadier, on runs and in everyday life, especially in my 40s with hormones changing and recovery taking longer. This kind of adaptation was gold. It wasn't just a running benefit. It was a huge health benefit. This surprised me, and my sleep also got better. My focus improved, and I just felt more stable emotionally. The post-run calm, the sense of balance, the clarity, it stuck with me. The runner's high from consistent Zone 2 runs became a daily mental reset. And yeah, I got leaner too, but the biggest win was how much better I felt in everyday life. Progress isn't a straight line. There were times I thought I was plateauing, times I wondered if I was slipping backward. But eventually, the curve turned up again. This kind of training isn't just about chasing pace. It's about building depth, resilience, durability. It's normal to hit plateaus, but Zone 2 creates the kind of fitness that keeps going, even when motivation dips or life gets in the way. Because Zone 2 removed the pressure. It made running feel lighter, more personal. I noticed the sunrise. I listened to the birds. I thought clearly. It became calming, almost meditative. And in a world that's always rushing, that stillness felt like a gift. I didn't expect it, but running in Zone 2 made me fall in love with running all over again. So, that's what 5,000 kilometers of Zone 2 running taught me in my late 40s. It's not flashy, it's not fast, but it works. And if you want to take it a step further, now that you understand the engine, I highly recommend watching this next video. 5 gym exercises to prevent running injuries, no equipment needed. It's simple, practical, and perfect for runners over 50 who want to stay injury-free. Click the screen and I'll see you over there.